In today's episode of LTV Lab, we're doing a deep dive into the customer journey of Staples. So Staples is a multi-billion-dollar revenue brand I'm sure everyone's heard of in the office supply space. And a little over 30 days ago, Kayla, who's one of the lifecycle marketing strategists at my agency Dispatch, ordered a product that she needed from the Staples e-commerce store. Since then, we've tracked everything that Staples has done over the last month to try and win Kayla back as a repeat customer. So Kayla's gonna walk through her real experience as a Staples customer over the last month, from their website shopping experience, their packaging, their unboxing, and of course, all of the emails and text messages that she received from the brand. Then me and the Dispatch team are gonna break down exactly what we would do if we were taking over as lifecycle marketing managers at Staples to improve their repeat purchase rate and their customer LTV.
I ordered from Staples mainly because I'm doing some redecoration of my house and needed some new office supplies. I really want to upgrade my office setup to what I have right now. And Staples is known as that office place. You want office stuff, go to Staples. So decided to go to that. That was my intention, to kind of upgrade my office space. But then when I got on the Staples website, they have so much stuff that I didn't even know they had, that I was like, whoa, Staples sells this? So I ended up buying something not really for my office, but I bought something for my daughter instead. But yeah, they have so many things. You can even see in just the amount of categories of things that you can purchase. It was honestly a little bit overwhelming, just because these are all the categories. It was a bit overwhelming, going through all of these different things to be what do I actually want? It's not just office supplies anymore. I could buy a cell phone. I can go and buy food and cleaning. It's just crazy, the things. I could go buy toilet paper from Staples. They have different savings, best deals of the week, their flyer, clearance, dollar deals. They have so much that I really got overwhelmed shopping. I ended up finding something I wanted, but it was a bit overwhelming overall, I will say. They don't have any pop-up on their website, so I wasn't able to sign up for any savings before I placed my order. But I placed my order, I got my order. I ended up getting Amazon speaker for my daughter, and then a few office supplies for myself. The bigger purchase was the Alexa speaker. Right after I placed my order, I then got a welcome code to use my next order. And it specifically says $10 off your next purchase of $100 or more, which seems like maybe it's not a huge amount to get, but if I just wanted to buy pens or something, that would be a lot of pens to get to $100. Kind of pretty much every email I got was very much flyer focus, I'd say. It was very much here's a deal. And then on June 7th, I didn't even open this email because the subject line was shopping at Staples for your business. I don't own a business, so I wasn't shopping. So this really didn't apply to me. But it was another discount if you signed up for this preferred business member thing. If you have a business, I guess it's beneficial, but it wasn't for me. 3 days after I placed my order, my shipping notification came. All good. And then we just kind of continue seeing these deals, and they're very long. They're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at you. The same as their site experience. I found their emails very overwhelming and just let me throw a bunch of stuff at you and see if you'll buy something. One thing that was another thing that I didn't open because it said enhance your brand with premium business services. But then the service was about printing. I kind of wish I had opened it because it's just about printing. I don't need a business to go print something. But because the subject line was very business, I passed over it. They were advertising that print service. They tried to get me to sign up for a text message and giving me the $10. It says an additional $10 off 100, but that's the original offer they had given me. So I don't know if that's I get that twice. Not quite sure. They didn't really explain it. And then I got an email asking for my feedback. Lots of flyer focused emails that are super long. I kept getting these business emails in between that I just skipped because I'm not a business owner. The one that did confuse me was this. It was sent from Staples Preferred, which if you signed up for a Staples Preferred account, the business account, but I didn't sign up for that. We just placed an order. I got this email as a Staples Preferred business person, and it was confusing for me. 100%. Also, I didn't really understand what was happening here. I got a free popcorn with $125, which seems lame in my opinion, to be honest. They did ask me to review my order, and I could review it right in the email. Yeah, and again, it just steals flyer, flyer, flyer. That's my Staples journey. An email.
Did you
Anything?
subscribe on?
No, honestly, I didn't even like they sent me an email every day or every other day, and I stopped opening them because they were so overwhelming. Oh, I didn't talk about unboxing. One thing that was really nice about Staples when I did get my order, because they deliver with their own trucks, that experience was really nice because it wasn't a standard delivery truck driver. It was like a Staples driver, and he like had a whole conversation with me and like talked to me about lawnmowers, and Staples didn't sell lawnmowers, but we were talking about lawnmowers and other things. Maybe not every Staples delivery driver is like that, but I had to sign for my order. It was really nice, not just the standard throw on your porch that you get from Amazon. That really stood out for me for my ordering experience.
Now that you say that, Staples does their own fulfillment, I guess, because I
Yeah.
do see the Staples trucks driving around.
Yeah. And I didn't expect to have to sign for it, but it was like he was there and he knocked on the door and I signed for it. You don't get that anymore with delivery, so it was kind of nice.
Because you went through the emails pretty quickly, Kayla, was there any like I know there's just like a ton of merchandising going on. Is there any like common thread about the products and the categories that they're promoting? And do you think there's any chance this is dynamic at all based on what you ordered, or is it all over the place?
It's all over the place. So it'll be like best deals of the week. It's almost like they're doing something in every category. You have computers, printers, coffee machines, notebooks, pens. They do heavily focus on electronics more, but I don't think it's dynamic based on the Alexa speaker because I'm also getting shown toilet paper. I think it's really just like what's on sale.
Are all of these only featuring sale products?
Yeah. So I always got emails with here's dollar deals, here's the deals of the week, here's what's on sale. It felt like I was getting emailed a flyer, like a newspaper flyer every day.
It's kind of giving like grocery store, budget grocery store flyer, which
Yeah.
might be mean to say, but that's what it
That's what I mean. I get it. They have so many SKUs trying to get across all of the things, but it just became so overwhelming with the way they presented stuff that I literally stopped reading their emails.
Okay, so this is super interesting to me because like we don't work with any brands doing $8 billion in revenue, and like I'm understanding of the fact that like the way they operate, the goals they have, how they run their marketing channels is very different than a 7 and 8 figure brand. But when I think there's just like core principles that are like objective truths when it comes to marketing. The question that I have that's jumping out to me when I see this is like in 2025, like why does the average person shop at Staples? So like you said, Kayla, like you went to the Staples website because you want something for your office, right?
Yeah.
Is that reflect why anyone else would go to Staples?
Well, I'm trying to think of recent times I've been at Staples. My dad's a realtor. Like he's always buying binder pins and whatever else because he's always giving away pens and papers and stuff like every day. But for my own shopping, like the last time I shopped at Staples, actually, I frequent the Staples by my house because at their post counter you can do Amazon return. I'm actually in the store pretty often, beelining to the shipping desk to drop off my Amazon return. Other than that, I bought film for one of my like Instax Polaroid camera because I was going on vacation and I needed to like go to the store and get it. Staples had it on the site. Or I think during Black Friday, I bought AirPods because they were on sale. But more, I was like shopping for specific things online, and then like Staples happened to carry this product.
Yeah, when I think Staples, I think like office supplies, back to school supplies, like that kind of stuff. Like that's like growing up. That was like you went to Staples
You had
for
to
back to
get
school
all
to
your
get.
books in September. You had to get one of
Yeah.
each. Yeah, like that for sure. I also don't have a printer at home. I don't have a full proper home office. So I also just don't really shop for office type items very often.
I don't go to Staples that often. It's really just if my printer's broken and I need something printed urgently, or if Walmart didn't have the pens that I want, then I will go to Staples. Because in general, I've noticed that Staples is a little bit higher price than other places, so I need a specific reason to go there, if that makes sense.
Okay, for sure. So if I was a strategist working with Staples starting tomorrow, these would be my first questions. Why do people buy from Staples to begin with? What are they looking for from Staples? When I see these emails, what really stands out is they're trying to compete for your wallet share with Amazon in different categories. Would you buy paper towels from Staples if a deal was good enough? So question one is like, would you ever think to buy paper towel from Staples? And then part two is like, if they showed you a crazy deal that was better than what you'd see on Amazon, would you buy it from them?
So interesting
No,
you
no.
say when I used to work at a gym, we had Staples auto ship for a whole bunch of stuff. We had an Amazon business account that we would order stuff off of, but like things like toilet paper, like for our staff bathroom, so we'd use like the nicer versus like the one ply that we would get for, I don't even know who would drop it off, maybe Cintas. We would order from Staples on auto ship or whatever it was. And it was also the person ordering that didn't, while there was a budget, they weren't like as price sensitive as I would be shopping for my house. Like if we have however many dollars per week to spend on supplies for the gym and we needed something, it would just come out of that budget. Unless we're at max budget, I would imagine we would just order the thing. So I feel like there's also different customer types that are like the Staples website placing orders.
I personally think that businesses purchasing from Staples is probably the biggest demo that makes up their online
Mm-hmm.
purchase volume. And that's where, like, we'll talk about specific recommendations in a few minutes, but it is interesting how much they target the average consumer. Like, I think all of our guesses would be is not looking to Staples for these products. And I think like Kayla mentioned, and I really appreciate the honesty because that's kind of the whole point of LTV Lab, like you didn't continue opening these emails because they weren't showing you products or any information that was relevant to you.
I also feel like they kept like they kind of always would show electronics up top because like the dollar off of like the deal, like
Mhm.
for example, save 350 off tablets, off an office chair. And it's like those are bigger ticket items. Like I'm not gonna just go spend $400 on a tablet or their chairs aren't cheap either. Like, I'm not gonna go just spend money on that like because I saw a deal. Like those are bigger ticket items that we need research and I probably need to see it a couple times. Those are things I know I want and I'm going to go searching for them. Now that I'm seeing things are on sale all the time, it doesn't give me urgency to buy this now because like literally every email, all these things are on sale. So when I am in the market for a chair and I have like it's in my budget to do so, I'll be like, okay, maybe I'll check it out. But then if it's not on sale on the time I want it, then I likely would go somewhere else. I just feel like everything they're showing was like bigger ticket items that are not necessarily things that I'm going to buy on the everyday or need replenishment on the everyday. Like it wasn't things like up on your pens or your notebooks or things that are a little bit more, I want to say like not impulsive. Yeah, maybe impulsive is the right word. Right? Like just felt like there wasn't enough of a mix of things that like I would want to buy versus like I need to think about this purchase items.
Can you think of other products they sell that could have been cross-sold, like based off of you buying the Alexa?
Oh, so much. So I bought a kids Alexa. Like it's a specifically for kids Alexa. Like they have so many kids items. They have kids learning activity books that I almost bought. So yeah, that kind of stuff, giving me more kid focused items because it was a kid Alexa. And then it was like the right price. I would have been tempted to buy a few other items that I was like, maybe I'll get this, and then I didn't.
Got it. I'm just looking at their website and I see they have a staple kids section. Do you
Yeah.
know if like that was in there?
I don't remember. I do know like I was gravitated. I started looking at my own stuff and then I saw Staples Kids and I was like, "Oh, what is that?" Because my daughter is starting school this year or in September. So I was very curious of like what they had for Staples Kids. My memories of Staples are always going there for back to school. I ended up being sucked in there. But then there was like Lego and toys and then I was like, "Whoa, this is not the Staples Kids I was expecting." I don't know how I happened across the Alexa, but I did, and then I purchased it.
Got it. So yeah, I give Staples the full benefit of the doubt that on the merchandising front, they know what they're doing as an $8 billion revenue company. But it is just really interesting, and I venture to guess not optimal to treat their email marketing strategy like like an Amazon or like a Walmart, where like we're trying to sell you everything and we're only like competing on price. And like we're assuming that like the only reason you want to buy from us is like because something's on sale. It doesn't even matter what that product is. You're just a sales shopper. That's
And I
all
find
you
it
care about.
really interesting that that's how they communicated to me, or at least that's how it appeared in email. They're just trying to be like stuff's on sale, shop from us, because I don't associate Staples with like a sale, like discount channel, right? Like if I want something cheap, I'm going to Walmart, I'm going to Amazon, I'm going to Staples because they have like cool supplies. They have like the better supplies. If I'm going there, I'm willing to pay a little extra. At least that's my perception of the brand. It's above. It's not a Walmart. It's a higher quality. And then the emails just kind of being very price focused. And even the design of them doesn't scream that this is better and you are paying because it's better.
So if I was a strategist that was starting to work with Staples tomorrow, I think the highest leverage thing they can do to optimize their repeat purchase rate is understand who their customer is. If they could break out their customer archetypes into 3 or 4 key demos, like business purchasers being number one, people buying for kids being number two, and people buying technology being number three. The biggest distinction from their emails right now is you have office supplies purchasers and then everyone else. Maybe break out everyone else into subcategories. But like the first priority, I would think, is that distinction between office supplies, business purchasers, and non-business. Because like the assumption that I can make is that, like Eleni said, like there's a lot of offices that look to Staples for their office supplies needs. There's a lot of people who will set up like auto ship for the products that they need replenished. Like how you are going to speak to those customers is just obviously like completely irrelevant to someone like Kayla who is not buying for their office or for their business. So right away, like you're alienating that non-business purchaser and getting someone like Kayla to not even want to open emails because you're communicating so many things that are irrelevant to them. And then number two, like for business customers that you do have, you're also like alienating them by sending them a lot of deals in terms of like things for their kids, things for like their home that just are not relevant to why they're purchasing from Staples. So I think if you could draw that line in the sand, like right away, you're going to see huge incremental performance impacts on like click rates, engagement, conversion rates, and revenue when like you're able to just stay top of mind by staying in the inbox of your customers by actually communicating things that are relevant to them and that make them want to keep opening their emails. So I think like that data collection is extremely important. The way that I would want to go about setting that up is like either by collecting zero party data in the pop-up form or by automatically tagging customers based on the items they're purchasing. Because the truth is like there are a lot of products you can buy from Staples that like no one besides a business is going to purchase. So those things aren't mutually exclusive, and I would push for setting up both zero party data collection and tagging on the back end. Once that's set up, you can take the next step of actually like branching out those post-purchase flows, branching out your campaign sends based on those segments. And then like the final thing I would say is like Kayla mentioned, bought a item that was for her kid. Like there's a lot of other kids products, a lot of like direct Alexa upsells or cross sells that can be sold. And for a brand as big as Staples, like if the resources are there to invest in a better, more optimized customer journey, I highly suggest building out post-purchase flows that dynamically recommend products to cross-sell to customers based on what they ordered. Even seven-figure brands with the right Shopify stack can do this. So there's really no reason why Staples can't do this. I'd be super curious to see the math that refutes what I'm saying and that pushing everything to everyone is better. I'd be very confident if I was starting as at that strategist position for Staples tomorrow in going full force with like that go forward plan.
I think you really hit the nail on the head in terms of segmenting people and really getting to know their audience. I would even add to that saying that they can very easily design or push products that fit with each of those segments so that they're fully engaged. It'd be fun to do so many different types of lifestyle content. They have such a wide variety of products. It would be so easy to have like a shop your like dream office supplies, or if you're buying kid stuff, everything your kid needs to like enjoy the summer, to not bug you while you're working. Like, here's all these activities your kids can do. I think there's so many ways to engage shoppers based on the data they collect. I'd be really interested in seeing that. Kayla, question for you. Have you seen a campaign, like you bought something from the kids section, if you had seen a campaign that was like, hey, here are all the other things your kids would enjoy while they're on break for the school year, would you have considered buying the activities they pushed?
Yeah, I was looking at some of the activities on their website, so I totally would have. And I think that's just part of the way they've laid out this emails are just like, here's a deal, here's savings, here's savings. And like that storytelling doesn't really feel like, and maybe this one is a little more storytelling, but it's not great. And it doesn't relate that much to me. So I think something where it's like, actually had that storytelling to like bring me into it. I'm such a like I'm an online shopper. I shop online all the time. I'm really bad for shopping in the middle of the night, getting an email and then scrolling through things or buying random things on Amazon. Like you buy me into the story. I am a sucker for, especially when it comes to my kids. I would buy all the things.
That totally makes sense. Rather than focusing on deals, and look, if Staples wants to give people deals, I'm not going to argue, but add storytelling to those deals to entice people rather than getting them.
And even Staples had a lot of this is what I was looking at, these books that are for summer. We're in summertime right now. I purchased this as school was about to end, and they're all like, here's what you need for like to do in the summer for the kids for like well school's on, right? So like this is the stuff you need to practice, or like here's how do you get ready for the next grade. And like having a story like that, and like especially at this time when school was just ending, like I would have ate it up, and they could have upsold me on so many different things to like either keep kids engaged in the summer or to like keep them learning through the summer. They have so much of that kind of.
Yeah, last time I was at Staples, I walked through the kids aisle and they had so many things even I would consider like the arts and crafts look real fun. So, okay, interesting. And then the other part of what I would say is give people a reason to shop there. So, Elliot, like you said, like they have so much variety, it almost feels overwhelming. Just give people a reason to look to Staples first before they look to any other retailer. Part of that is staying top of mind, but the other part is being engaging enough to encourage people to actually open your email. But yeah, because right now, aside from these deals, which obviously are not enough to convert someone like Kayla to actually open the emails, they need to give people a reason to go there, to think about.
Along with everything that's already been said, something that I would love to test if I had my hands on Staples email marketing is also just breaking these campaigns out into collections almost multiple times in emails next to each other. We see headphones, monitors, computers with their associated discount for that day, or I'm assuming the discounts are on for longer than just one day. What I would love to test is an email the way they have it now versus an email saying, here's all of the monitor brands we carry, why you should upgrade your monitor. Here's, the differences between them. Here's what's on sale, to kind of encourage you to think about why you might actually want to purchase something other than just it being on sale. I would imagine that, both people that have home offices and, businesses, you already probably have a monitor in your home office or attached to your computer. So really selling why you should be shopping from this collection as a whole. Or like for headphones, improve the sound quality and it has a better mic than what comes on a standard computer. Just any reason why any product in that collection would benefit your employees, I think could also really help just pushing traffic to site and having people want to shop the product. Because if you're not thinking about buying something for your business, like a whole new set of office chairs or monitors, you do need to be convinced and educated on why you should be thinking about buying these things. Splitting that out through the week versus having every collection, I think could be a really interesting A/B test for them.
If you're watching this and you manage marketing at a 7-figure e-commerce brand and you're looking to scale and reduce your customer acquisition costs, improve your customer LTV, and you want to work with a team that's generated over $50 million for our e-commerce brand partners over the last few years, hit the link in the description to book a discovery call and see if you qualify for a completely free in-depth retention audit where we'll go through your Klaviyo account, we'll go through everything that you have set up on the lifecycle marketing side of things and see specifically where you might be leaving revenue on the table. Kayla, based on everything that was just discussed, what are your general thoughts as a customer and how you would have preferred those ideas versus what Staples?
Yeah, I think I would have definitely preferred those ideas. One, like some storytelling, having it broken out into more manageable chunks instead of just like, here's everything. Like, they have the resources to send a lot of emails. They did send me a lot of emails. So if I had one email one day about monitors and then the next one about headphones, it wouldn't feel so overwhelming because it'd be like, okay, this is headphones. And there's some education, some why, some storytelling in there. It would feel so much more engaging to be like, okay, I'm going to actually look at this rather than I'm opening it and being like, yeah, it's just a deal. And that's why I stopped looking at them, because it didn't feel relevant to me, because I'm not in the market to buy a monitor. I'm not in the market to buy headphones. So just showing me a deal about it doesn't make me feel like I should buy it, because it's just not top of mind right now. Where you sold me on it a little bit more, gave me that why, gave me that story, I could be engaged. Even if I didn't want to buy it, I would at least still be opening your emails because they would be engaging, versus like my thought right now, and my thoughts on Staples are, when I'm in the market for something, I'll check and see if it's on sale, versus that's going to be the first place I'm going to go because they have the best quality or the best variety. Everything's on sale anyway, so when I feel like buying something, I'll check Staples.
As always, we're looking at our dispatch agency retention rubric. Kayla, we're going to go one by one and rate how Staples did on each part of the customer journey. Starting with the initial order experience, how was your experience ordering from Staples?
I would say because there was so much on their website and I felt like their filtering could have been better, it was a little hard to like find all the things or find the right categories. It did feel very overwhelming of like the amount of things on there. Even if you go on like kids, it's just like so many things that it did feel a little overwhelming. So I'm gonna give them a 6 just for like the overwhelm. And I think it was
Got
like
it.
an unexpected overwhelm. Like if I go on Amazon, I expect there to be millions of things. I didn't expect the variety of things like chocolate and toilet paper and all that on their site that cluttered
Got it.
things.
To their credit, that did allow you to buy something and potentially spend more than you were planning on when you got to the site. The order to delivery phase, so in terms of shipping times and what they sent you in that time frame, how'd they do?
I'm gonna give them an 8. Just like it was quick. I got standard notifications, but I think like delivery driver, like I don't know if we want to call that order to delivery or if he's part of unboxing, but they're like delivery driver like sealed it for me. Like that was a memorable experience for me with Staples.
I think that's amazing. And just want to stick on that for a second for any brand watching this. Obviously, you're not going to have your own delivery driver if you're a 7-figure or an 8-figure brand or even a 9-figure brand. But the takeaway is, what can you do across the touch points that you do have accessible to get that feeling? That's where like we've talked about it on other episodes, but like, proactive customer service is a great place for that. You also have touch points like post-purchase emails. You have the touch points of the unboxing. Like there's a lot of areas where you could just make an impact that Staples did make when their delivery driver like took a minute to just talk to Kayla about these other things that obviously made the experience great. Cool. Okay, next up. Now, on the unboxing side, so actual packaging, how'd they do?
It was pretty standard. It was just a brown box. I think the tape had Staples' name on it. There was nothing special about it. It was literally like brown box, stuff was inside, nothing was broken, no extra inserts or anything like that. It was just standard. So I'm going to give them a 6. It wasn't bad, but it was just box.
On the post-purchase side, we just looked at all the emails you received over the last 30 days. How are you rating their post-purchase emails?
So I will say their emails were overwhelming and I did stop looking. But the one thing I did take away from the post-purchase journey was Staples is more than just office supplies now. So like that, and that's maybe that's a brand mission of them to come across now. So one thing that I did come away from it is like there's more to Staples than pens and office supplies if I am looking for something. But because their emails weren't super engaging and there was just not always applicable to me, I did stop reading them. So even though I get that they're more than just office supplies now, they didn't keep me engaged enough to be like, yay, Staples. So I'm going to give them 5.
Okay. I can actually appreciate that take of maybe that is their goal and they achieved it. The only reason why I'm saying that is probably because Eleni already said like she ordered was it AirPods?
Yeah.
Like from when it was Black Friday season, even though you might unsubscribe from their emails because they're very relevant, just the fact that when holiday gifting season comes around, Staples might have deals on the products you're looking at, like at Walmart or Amazon, is definitely a success for them, I would say. But to your credit, like if that's in 7 months from now and you're no longer on their email list at all, are they going to be top of mind enough? Will that stick around for 7 months?
Yeah, and I think because their post purchase journey is so price focused, it's like showing me a variety of things, but very price focused. I might think, okay, Staples has these other things, but now I'm thinking of them as Staples has these other things for sale. So if I do want those other things, I'm going to look at them and compare pricing. But I think their post purchase journey lacked the why Staples and why here over other places outside of, because I don't think they're going to beat a Walmart. They're not going to beat an Amazon. Maybe they do in some categories. I don't know, but I highly doubt it. So other than we have deals on all these other things and, come gifting season, Black Friday, all that, maybe they'll come to mind again, but I still don't have that why them over other retailers.
For sure. Have you ever seen that like Best Buy or other retailers? They have like lowest price guaranteed, where like
Yeah.
if you show them a lower price at another retailer, they'll honor it. What you said is super valid about letting you know these prices are low, but as of today, their low prices probably aren't beating what you would find at Amazon or Walmart. If they could package that in their copy, like a guarantee, like this week, like this is like the lowest price you'll find on paper towels, guaranteed. I think that would probably catch your interest more for you to start thinking of them as like competitive than
Yeah.
just saying there's a discount on this. Okay, I think the 5 is fair. So you ordered a few things. Product satisfaction rating. How did you and your daughter enjoy the product?
My daughter was very excited to open the package. She knew it was coming. She knew it was for her. I have an Alexa speaker in my office already, and her brother had one in her room. So she was very excited to get her own, and it was like a little owl. We set it up right away, and she had a little dance party. She's really into Pink Pony Club right now. So we listened to that on repeat for a while. I would say no complaints. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't feel like it can be perfect, so I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay, sweet. Did you already know everything you felt you needed to know about Alexa for kids, or did their product page info help or influence you at all?
No, because I've already had, well, so I didn't have an Alexa for kids, but I already had two Alexa speakers. But like my kids have Amazon Fire tablets, so like I already have like Amazon Kids set up. So I set up my son's speaker, even though it isn't like a kid's Alexa, you can have Amazon Kids on it. So I already like knew how to do that stuff. The box itself, like the packaging that comes from like the Alexa speaker inside has like instructions as well that were like thorough if I needed, but I was aware of what I was getting into.
Okay, cool. Now we have our overall retention rating. When it comes to everything you experienced along the Staples customer journey and everything they could have possibly done to retain you as a customer, how are you rating them?
I'm gonna give them a 4, mainly because I think like we talked about before, like, okay, so now I do know they have all these other things, and I had a really great customer experience with their shipping. It was fast shipping. So those are all really positive things. But at the end of the day, they haven't communicated the benefits of shopping at Staples versus other places where I can get all of these other products. Like I'm buying an Alexa speaker on Amazon. It wasn't any cheaper to buy it on Staples. So like what is the benefit of shopping with them when it comes to back to school, kids gifts, or Black Friday time when, maybe I do want some more electronic things. They haven't given me that push that Staples as a whole as a business is the best place to go. It's not like Walmart. Walmart like really like hones like, oh, lowest price, we have everything you need. Like, and I feel like I didn't get that through their retention of is why you should shop at Staples other than, hey, we have a sale on. So if there isn't cheaper when I'm in the market for something, I'm probably not going to shop for them. That's the only benefit they're communicating to me.
Got it. That seems fair. The only thing that stands out to me is that 4 on 10 is like lower than any of the other individual. But I guess when you're just looking at the overall and really thinking of the impact.
Yeah, because when I think of my rating, 5 means I might go back, I might not go back. I might be retained, I might not be retained. Anything above 5 is I'm more likely to be retained. Anything below, I think I'm not at that 50-50. I think I'm very much like I need a bit more for them to do to like sway me to 5, 6, or 7 to be retained and come back as a customer. And I think the fact that like I didn't continue opening their emails for me brings it down to a 4, because if I'm not opening your emails, you're not me, really.
Okay, cool. So now we come to the final question we aim to answer on every episode of LTV Lab, which is, Kayla, will you be buying from Staples again?
Probably not. I can't say never, but probably not. They're not going to be the first place I think of if I need a product. I think come Black Friday, I probably would browse their flyer and see if there's any deals. But if it's not cheaper elsewhere, then I'm not buying from them. So I think the answer would probably be no, because I guarantee or not very much feel that they would not have a lower price than somewhere else, which means that I would ultimately end up not buying. The other comment I have is they have so many services that they offer like in Staples themselves that no one else offers, like the printing they emailed me about. Some of them are like business specific. They have like shipping, like they just have like all these other like little services and things that they do, and they like mention them here or there in their email, but they never like they don't scream about them. For me, that's more of the why. They offer all of these other things at Staples, but they're really competing on price, which seems silly to me.
Yeah, that is one of the big takeaways for me too, especially not being a customer of Staples. I didn't realize that was their main marketing messaging. All right, well, thank you everyone for tuning into this episode of LTV Lab. We'll see you in the next one.